For this tutorial, I'm going to show you the steps to using the Q2 Qwizdom Clickers with Study Island. Before you can access Study Island, you will need to plug in the USB receiver, so make sure that's already plugged into your computer. You'll find it inside the case with the clickers. You also need to have JavaScript installed on your computer, and you can Google that if you don't have it, and it'll tell you what version you're using. Make sure it's installed and you have it turned on. If you do not have it running, you want to make sure you allow it when it's prompted in your browser. I currently have those steps done, and I've already logged into Study Island, as you can see it on the screen. Next thing you want to keep in mind is that you need to have a class set up in your class manager. So if you click on Class Manager, you'll see your list of classes. I do have a class set up, and I do have students assigned to this. If you do not have a class established, you need to use the buttons here for Add a New Class, give the class a name, and choose the students that apply to the grade level you teach to put in that class. Remember, students can be assigned to several classes and to more than one teacher. Once you do have a class set up, you're ready to go to your PA programs and choose the subject or standards that you'll be working on. You can choose one or more than one. I'll choose two, and the next thing you want to click on is Start Studying. Next, you will choose Classroom Response Systems from the 4 options of how to study. We'll click Next. We're going to choose in the default response system the Qwizdom option, and you'll see our clickers here, Q2 version, and we just click Next. Now you're prompted to choose your class. Choose the class name, and the list of students you have assigned to this class will appear on the screen. You need to assign each student a number and tell this number to the students. Have them write it down, because in a few minutes they will need to submit this number on their clicker before they can begin answering questions. This is just a random number you assign to them so that you know who is answering what question with which response. Once you've given each of them a number here, and it's the same number you tell to the student, you can click Next. We're going to do a new session rather than a saved session. I'm going to choose a new session and click Start. This is the screen where you'll be prompted to allow JavaScript to run if it's not already running in your browser. It may take up to 30 seconds for the screen to load as it connects to the receiver that will communicate with the clickers. I'm going to choose Teacher-Led so that I can lead the questions through. If you choose the student-paced, it's based on the student answers as to when questions turn up on the screen. The next thing you want to click on is Start Polling, but before we have students answer the question, they're first going to submit the number that you've assigned to them. Holding the clicker in your hand, you want to press the button that is immediately to the left of the 0. This is the power button, and also known as the Enter button. Hold it for a few seconds till it begins to start. Once it is loaded, you will see 2 dashes and a U. At this point, students can submit their number. I'm going to press the 1. And again, I'll press Enter, and my number that I've submitted will show on the screen. Now I can press the answer to the question. As you see on the screen, there's now a check mark next to the box for clicker number 1, and the student saw on the clicker a check mark showing them they had the right answer. I'll grab a second clicker and go through those same steps again. Press and hold the power button for a couple seconds till the clicker turns on. I see the letter U. I'm ready to enter my number assigned to me of 2 and press the Enter button. It submits my number to the system, and now I can press my answer. I'll press C, and the student receives an X on their screen, also showing them the letter C that they submitted, and you see a check mark next to the number 2. You would continue this for all clickers being used, and as they submit their answers, you will see the number boxes here show up, one box for each student as they submit their answer. When you're done submitting answers, click Stop Polling, and you're ready to go on to the next question. Now that we're on to question 2, we no longer need to have students submit the number assigned to them. All you need to do is press Start Polling. They can submit their answers. You can press Stop Polling when you are finished submitting answers, and you can talk about the question or go on to the next question. I'll go on to question 3, and as you see the question appear, students cannot answer the question until I click the Start Polling button. So you can have any type of discussion or conversation about the question on the screen before you allow students to submit an answer. Once you click Start Polling, they can answer, and you can wait for all students to submit and then press Stop. You continue this way until you've answered all the questions you've planned for the class. When you are done, you can click Save for later if you're out of time, examine any results here, or go on to end the session. It'll ask you if you're sure you wish to end and record this session, and you can click Yes. Now your screen will come up and allow you to see the results from each student. You can see how they answered, and you can actually click in and see which questions they answered correctly or incorrectly for both skills that we were working on. When you're done with the class, have the students hold down the power button to have it turn off. The battery symbol will disappear, and you'll be left with just the number assigned to that clicker for today. At that point, you can collect them and put them back in the case until the next time.